7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the off-season, the football card quest here with Steve, the Hitman Scaladesi. I'm your host, Andy Kaysen, or you can call me AC. Here on the quest, Steve, I'm enjoying this downtime right now, the off-season, man. How are you feeling?
I mean, I have the football withdrawals as far as watching the games, but I'm still loving the hobby. I mean, the hobby lives on, right? I'm not seeing this cliff that everyone's talking about.
Hey, I am seeing a lot of sales activity, but I will say I've seen a little bit of a slowdown. Maybe it's a perception of a little bit of a slowdown. I want you to elaborate on what you're seeing, but I also want to dig into an underdog super flex best ball tournament tonight. Look at that. We've also got a couple questions in the chats about would you rather. I also want to share with you an eBay snipe by the end of this live stream, Steve, and maybe even open a piece of mail on the live stream.
That's doable. Very doable. Yeah, I would say as far as what I've seen, maybe I don't have the overall sales numbers. I know you delve into that quite a bit, but I'm basing it off of auctions that I'm watching and the cost of certain players. You would think with it being the off season, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's the off season, like prices are going to go down, right? I'm not seeing it, man. I mean, there's a lot of guys that, and if anything, their prices have gone up in the off season as far as I can see.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of waiting in the wings. I feel like you have that perception. You've also got, basketball on fire right now. And I think it's a perception of off-season. However, I don't think as many sellers are listing cards. So you actually have a little bit lower supply. I think these card prices are kind of waiting in the wings of these values. And I think, then we get through the NFL Combine. Once free agency starts, this is kind of my theory, Steve. When that new league year starts on March 16th, this is just 2 weeks away now. I think things are going to start to get really interesting in sales activity, especially around those guys that are a new team scenario, new quarterback, what have you.
I have noticed certain nights there's a lot less listings. Some nights there's just as many as there was before, but there's certain nights where my watch list is like bare bones compared to what it was a few weeks ago. So in that aspect, I agree. But as far as what the cars are selling for, I'm not seeing much of a difference.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We're going to dig into some NFL rumors, some speculation, some talk, some breaking takeaways from the NFL Combine that's just going down today. But let me say what's up to a couple people in the chat. If you guys are brand new here, and if you want to make laser-focused football card investments, talk about anything football card related specifically, that is all we do here on the quest. So hit that subscribe button and tune in. We're about to have some fun. I think the biggest speculation for me that I've heard today, Steve, going back to the NFL, is Aaron Rodgers. I think it's likely he's going to stay in Green Bay.
I did read that, and I don't know. I guess it's one of those things that you can't really assume anything, man. We've had our fair share of surprises in pro sports the past couple of years, so I think it's a likelihood for sure. But you never know. One offer could change anything. But according to what they've been reporting, they haven't had a single offer. So I don't know if I believe that.
Well, I mean, can you afford the guy at this point? I mean, not many teams have that kind of salary cap space and situation to put that much money on the table for Rodgers. Because another interesting theory I heard, it's like, why doesn't Rodgers take a team generous deal where he takes lower money to get a better supporting cast on his team? And the answer I heard from this NFL analyst was that, because the NFL Players Association will come to him and be like, if you take this little contract, then, other teams are going to start expecting the same caliber of player as you for this similar or same amount of money. And so almost like the NFLPA forces them to take a certain amount of contract that's respectable for a player of his caliber and his stature and everything.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, there's so many ways they can structure contracts to make room now. So, I mean, if they really want to make it work, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think all in, because if they don't make it work, it's like the biggest stain on a team in NFL history. I mean, you're like reliving the Brett Favre thing all over again. And I mean, Green Bay fans are some of the most loyal, diehard fans in the country, if not the most. And if they don't find a way to re-sign Aaron Rodgers, who I think is kind of aged and matured, he seems to be, he seems to be more self-reflective and kind of self-aware. I don't think he's nearly as kind of cocky and arrogant as he was in his younger days. I don't know. I think he's more willing to negotiate, and I think they're going to come to terms. I think he's going to go back to Green Bay, honestly, and then they'll franchise tag Devontae Adams, and there'll be one big happy family again for 2022.
And then they signed Christian Kirk, right?
Oh, dude. Now you're talking some free agency heat right there, brother.
That would be wild, man. He would take a major leap on that team.
He really would. So let's talk about some more rumors like that. Let's say what's up to some of these guys in the chat. Joel, what's going on, Joel? What's he got? A question out of the gate. Would you rather have a Herbert Optic Hollow PSA 10 or a Herbert Optic Orange or Aqua PSA 9? They're all around the same price. Orange is $199. Oh, okay, so the orange and the aqua are serial numbered, or the Optic Hollow PSA 10. Oh, Steve, that's tempting, man.
Yeah, that is hard. I will say this right out of the gate. I mean, I am a big time sucker for the aqua and orange parallels out of Optic. And out of Prism too, actually. So I would actually probably go that route. I would think that despite them being a 9, I think that the pop count's going to be lower anyway. So I think it's got a better staying value on that.
I really like the aqua. I think I'm going to go with I was leaning hollow PSA 10. I am for the PSA 10 sake of it, but the aqua has kind of got a color match. It's also kind of got that texture to it. It's got some additional refraction color, and it's only serial numbered out of 299. So I really like those aspects of it. And I don't know if you were watching the Questcast I did with Carter, but I actually broke down like trading card database, a different amount of parallels between Prism and Optic. I didn't go into too much detail about Optic, but Optic has like not nearly as many parallels as Prism. The Prism has 66. I think Optic only has like 28 or something. So there's a big difference there in the number of parallels as well.
And then there's Select, right?
Oh, Select went ham this year on parallels.
I think probably the everyone watching doesn't know, but I decided to start building my rainbow for Keyshawn Vaughn, and foolishly I decided on Select, not realizing how many there was. Now I am almost done with it. I'm only missing a couple, but yeah, if I could go back, I would have picked like Prism instead, because there's just way less cards.
Wait. So Prism has 66 parallels for Keyshawn Vaughn. Optic has 28. I'm about to look up and see how many Select has, because I think they went somewhere in the middle. So they really blew it out of the water when they went from hobby only to retail, and they were like, "Oh, dude, they got sniffers out there. They got guys watching social media, listening to which sets we're talking about the most." And I guarantee you, they heard that a lot of people were high on Select, so they decided that was the new set they were gonna blow out of the water.
Prism has 66.
66 parallels for 2020.
Man, I'm trying to think. I mean, are they counting like the Asian ones, like the Tmall ones and stuff?
Supposedly, yeah, because some of them are 1 of 1s, 1 of 5s, 1 of 10s. like Keyshawn Vaughn, for example, he's got 2,213 total cards right now. But if you're on trading card database, I guess here, let me share my screen. We kind of like the cards are very visual hobby. So on tradingcarddatabase.com, if like football, search Keyshawn Vaughn, then you can go and pull him up. It's got some of his basic information here. And it says 2,213, but that's all of his cards available. You go to filters, you put in 2020, and then you come down here to brands. And if we were to go to Panini Prism, for example, and then leave this and put in parallels. So if you wanted everything from Prism, which is, it's either going to be parallels, base, or inserts.
That's counting college, though.
No, because they'll have another brand called Panini Prism Draft Picks.
I thought in the drop down it said college.
So they'll have if he had Panini Prism Draft Picks, some of the other players have that. They have. Could
you go back to the set types drop down? Maybe I missed.
Okay. Sets type. Sets here. This is where they literally consider all the different parallels and stuff as sets as well. So this is
more box sets down is what I meant. Sorry.
Oh, under set types, this is a little different.
Draft. See, it says college and draft too.
Okay. So I don't think it's going to pull anything up.
Oh, I see.
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense then. Yeah, because actually Mosaic has, for example, a couple college uniform cards, even though it's not the college Mosaic set.
So, holy crap, dude. So with Select having the different tiers, look how many parallels there are in the Select set as an entirety. You definitely picked the wrong set, dude, to build a rainbow. Because you have to build a rainbow for Premier, club level. What's a Concourse was the base one. Concourse, Premier, club level, and field level. 4 different tiers. Each one has approximately 40 different parallels. What's up, Rin?
Yeah.
Justin can't sleep. No, you ain't gonna be able to sleep going through this many parallels, man. What is good? Charles Barkley, what's good, man? Charles Lee. Trubisky will. Whoa, man! Bark always coming with the bold take. You know, I have seen prices going up on Trubisky. Steve.
Yeah, I would say if Trubisky wins MVP, I might have to part with my PC, Trubisky PC.
I think if you bought Trubisky, I mean, yeah, dude, because you're gonna make so much money off of it. I mean, he's one of my favorite free agent quarterbacks, and I see him creeping up. I see Hurts creeping up little by little. I mean, he was so low. I think it was just inevitable, right? Just based on his fantasy stock. They seem fully committed to him for 2022. I think it's a slam dunk play. It's a big number. What's up, Brian?
Is that
Steeler?
Are they still 46 million over? Because I saw like at least 4 or 5 players this week had restructured. So I don't know where they're sitting at now, but that's a pretty big number to overcome.
It's a pretty big number, but I think they'll figure out a way to Packers. Yeah, Packers today create 10.8 million salary cap space. I think I mean, they got a lot of work to do.
Hopefully they don't make the mistake that the New York Mets made in the 1990s. Do you know about that, Andy?
The New York Mets from 1990. No, you'll have to refresh my memory here.
I don't know the precise details, but I know they're paying Bobby Bonilla. They gave him like a 30-year contract or something like that so that they could afford to put the rest of their team together. So he's still getting paid to this day.
I
saw a meme and they're like, he's the highest paid baseball player right now due to the lockout. I was like, that's brutal, man.
Oh man, that's brutal. What's up, 402 Collector in the house? My man Brandon, the content director for the Quest. Chris Olave, I saw this, man. I saw this pop across the screen. Chris Olave from Ohio State with a 4.26. Oof. That is speedy. So check this. Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh measured in today at the combine. His hand size a little bit in question, Steve. Measured in at 8.5 inches from pinky to thumb. 8.5 inches puts him in the first percentile. Means he's got the smallest hands in the NFL.
Yeah, and not only is that the average male size of the United States, hand size, but like you said, it's the smallest hand size at the combine recorded. So that's obviously something that coaches are going to look at. Now, I saw a couple people say, well, he was just fine in college, right? But as we discussed before the stream, the football gets bigger, right? The defenders get heavier. They start hitting you a little harder. So I think it will make a difference. How big of a difference? I guess we'll find out.
It's going to be interesting to see if this hurts his draft stock right off the bat. You know, Sean King was a guy that I remember having smaller than average hands. I looked up his hands before the show started, 9.25 inches. So his hands are still almost an inch bigger than Kenny Pickett's. Which seems to me very concerning. Like you said, bigger ball, faster defenders, bigger defenders. Oh man, this is going to be very interesting 2022 for Kenny Pickett, to say the least. Somebody ran a 4.08. Wow, that is insane.
Is that a record? That seems like that would be a record.
It seems like it would be a record. I thought a 4.2 or 4.18 was a previous record. I know John Ross ran a 4.22 in 2017. What we talked about, I highlighted earlier in the week. I mean, this really helps guys out in the draft, but they could still be a bust. You know, they may not have the repertoire to develop the fine motor skills needed to be a professional football player.
Yeah, typically a lot of the guys in the drafts that have the speed, they don't typically have the route running skills, which is far more important than the speed. And then if they have the route running skills, do they have the hands? I mean, those are two things that are vastly more important. You can see guys with like mid-tier speed, how successful they are. Renfro, Cup, Michael Crabtree, guys like that, Jerry Rice.
So true, man. So true. It's a finesse. It requires speed, right? And it requires the catch radius and everything, but it's very much a finesse position. It requires a lot of finesse. Andrew Pierre, Zach Wilson, Brett, what's good, man? What's good? Big B Brett in the house? What's good, man? What's the question? Zach Wilson, like, you want to know how much you should pay for one, or how much they're comping for, like how much they're selling for? Are you in? You down with some Zach Wilson in 2022? I dig it, man. I dig it.
I think he'll make a leap forward a little bit. He did finish the season pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Pickett is Nathan Peterman 2.0. All right, Steve. Are you ready to do some best ball super flex, dude? Super flex.
I am, man. In fact, I look forward to fantasy drafts probably more than card auctions, which is that's probably high on my list. So I'm excited.
Superflex has already got 1,200 entrants. It's a tournament they just started today. $10 entry. First place prize is $50,000. Second place, $20,000. This includes 2020 rookies, guys. It's 2022 early best ball that allows you to start up to 2 QBs. And if you're not familiar with best ball, this is your first time here, why this is so great? Because we're trying to predict the players that will perform the best throughout the duration of the season. There's no lineup or roster manipulation. There's no ad drops of players. You pick a big ass team, 12 bench players, a full roster, it's half point PPR, and they optimize it on a weekly basis and give you the most amount of points to fill that roster. So it's awesome. All the focus is on the draft. And so what we're really studying in these drafts, we're trying to build team stacks. We're trying to get value where we can based on players' average draft position. Because what we've seen, Steve and I, plus a lot of other guys here on the Quest, we've seen this happen last year and in 2020, is that the average draft position, or the ADP of players in the NFL, is almost directly correlated with their rookie card hype. How liquid their rookie card is, how kind of demanded those more rare cards, or even the base cards. We're talking a lot of quarterbacks and stuff. So it's something very important that we focus on a lot, and it's a perfect fit and marriage with Underdog Fantasy. If you're new, they're still doing 100% instant deposit bonus using promo code QUEST. Steve, I know I can't believe they're still doing it. They're actually sending me a report. In 7 days, on the 10th of every month, I get a report of how many new signups. If we get to 100 new signups, they're going to sponsor a hobby box break on this channel where I do a ton of giveaways. Like, I basically give away most of the entire box. So really excited to get there. You guys want to help this channel, have some fun. You could also make some money on Underdog Fantasy, promo code QUEST. I'm going to enter this tournament, Steve.
Let's do it. And I encourage you guys to do it too, not just to help the channel, but, get into some drafts and, and start getting some knowledge and some research in for the upcoming season.
Look how quick this thing is filling. So this thing's going to go quick, Steve. I know you and I talked last time about we're going to manage. We're going to throw the draft board up on this screen. It goes quick. So we're going to be queuing players up. But we want to involve you guys in some of the decisions we're making here because I want to get a good consensus. It's interesting. We polled the community earlier this week on YouTube, Steve, about whether or not guys are watching the Combine this week. It's surprisingly quite a few guys aren't watching the Combine this week, not really interested. I think it goes to show you how much is going on now in society, in the world right now, in other professional sports, whether it be basketball, the Olympics, or hockey, or what have you. There's a lot of other stuff going on out there. And I think this is a perfect time for us here that are focused solely on football cards to double down. That's what I love to do, man. I love to double down and really get my hands around the entire player pool of the NFL, like the top 350, 400 players, and kind of understand where all the teams are at, and like kind of start formulating my plan going into 2022 of which teams are going to perform the best, which offenses are going to perform the best, what do I want pieces of.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy looking at a cheat sheet like 30 minutes before your draft, come next season. Do a couple of these and, do a couple a month, or do one a week, or do one every other week, and just start getting an idea of, because these people you're playing against, like, they want to win money too, right? So they're not just going to be screwing around. Like, they're going to draft the way that they would during the season. So pay attention to that, see where guys go, what round they go in, and use that to your advantage when you get to your personal drafts next season, because you might be able to sit on a guy another round if you've seen him going historically later.
Yeah, and I'm queuing guys up. This is important to queue guys up. You just star them, super easy. If you drop them down, then you can hit the draft button when it's your turn. But I'm basically just going down the list right now. I'm queuing guys up. Oh, I don't know how I missed Derrick Henry. Didn't mean to do that. Actually, I'm the type of guy that I would rather have Derrick Henry above Christian McCaffrey. With this being a super flex leagues, though, Steve, there's going to be a priority on quarterbacks because you can optimize your roster on a weekly basis with 2 quarterbacks. So I'm in the camp that Josh Allen is going to outperform Patrick Mahomes in 2022. It's highly debatable. I get very mixed opinions between who's going to outperform who between Allen and Mahomes. Let's see. We're in the number 4 spot, so we'll get a solid quarterback. We're going to have an interesting decision either between the top running back, top quarterback, or top wide receiver.
This should be interesting. I saw a report on Justin Jefferson today too. I don't know if you saw that.
A report on Justin Jefferson. What did it say?
Just mainly that they're gonna move him around the around the field a bit more to get him the ball, get him different looks at the ball and stuff like that. So I think that'll be good for him.
Oh yeah, I did see that. More versatile. I think that's what more and more teams are going to start to do now. They see how Cordell Patterson's being used, Deebo Samuel, guys like this. Even Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl. Heck, I mean that fourth down he converted was a handoff to Cooper Kupp. And it's just like when you've got your best player, like your best playmaker, get the ball in their hands.
Jonathan Taylor at the deuce.
Look at that, Josh Allen #1. Guys, consensus. Patrick Mahomes. Okay, they put me on the spot. They took JT. They took. I mean, do I go Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey here, man? You could try and go back to that. Well, in a world where you don't worry about injuries, I got to go Derrick Henry. I mean, I honestly would rather have Derrick Henry rookie card too, Steve. I mean, some people are probably going to say, well, he's not going to get the same volume as Christian McCaffrey in the passing game. I don't know. I mean, Derrick Henry's volume actually increased this past year. He was on track to smash.
Even if he doesn't get as much in the receiving game, like he's going to get that many more rushes in its place.
Yeah, and I look at the Christian McCaffrey injury history, compared to the Derrick Henry injury history. Obviously, Derrick Henry set out but it was only like 6 weeks. It was a toe injury. It wasn't like all of these lower body injuries that Christian McCaffrey has been dealing with the past 2 years between ankle and hamstring and knee. It's just been just a variety of different issues with Christian McCaffrey's shoulder. So it's one of those things where like, man, Derrick Henry's the king for not the king for no reason. Now, I didn't go quarterback, and this is super flex league, so I may have screwed myself right there. What do you guys think about that?
No, I think you're okay. I think you'll be able to get like Burrow or Rodgers on the way back. Or even I think Adams will probably go like around 14, 15. But if not, if Adams makes it to you, I would take Adams and then a QB.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we still got a ton of really juicy quarterbacks out there. I'm queuing some guys up right now. I don't want to. Oh, Najee's still out there. Got a second-year running back that we'll talk about in a minute. Maybe in my dreams he'll fall to me, but if he does, I'm going to snag him in a heartbeat. Well, I guess this is a bunch, like you guys aren't in this, but if Javonte Williams falls to me, I'm going to be selecting him in a heartbeat. I think that the Broncos move on from Melvin Gordon. And not only that, we saw some really explosive plays from Javonte. I think it's crazy that North Carolina had two incredible running backs on their roster at the same time, and Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. I mean, dear God, can you imagine how good that running game was? And you look at Javonte with a 50-50 workload split with Melvin Gordon last year, still dominant, man, just explosive, just really explosive, really hard to take down. I mean, we saw him drag like 3-4 defenders on some plays for 5-10 yards. I mean, just really impressive stuff. So I can only imagine if he got just another 25-30% workload, more receiving work. If Melvin Gordon wasn't there, it would be his backfield, and it would be on.
Andy, is there a way to show some of the player pool there?
Oh yeah, I could. So the available player pool?
Yeah.
So I got it queued up on this other screen. But here, after my pick, then I could show you.
I nailed it on the Adams spot. He went exactly where I said he was going to go.
I'm actually surprised, man. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams back together. I think he should have gone right behind Jamar Chase. Honestly, I think he could have gone Cooper
Who are the
Kupp.
best running backs and receivers available right now?
Well, you still got Najee Harris out there, Javonte Williams, like I said. Ooh, so I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna wait on quarterback, and I'm gonna go ahead and take Javonte. I'm really high on Javonte. 903 rushing yards on only 203 attempts, dude. I mean, just he was such a stud last year, and he only got a 50% workload share in Denver. And they're going to have really good receivers. You know, they're probably going to get somebody as a quarterback. It'll be really interesting to see who they get, but they've got arguably the best wide receivers and tight ends in the league. And you put Javonte behind a pretty solid offensive line as well. I mean, the defense is solid. I think that he's going to have a massive year. It's a guy I'll be doing deep dive on in the upcoming weeks.
What are the top QBs and receivers looking like?
All right, so top QBs. We got Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence is out there. Derek Carr's out there. Another QB gone. I think I go Jalen Hurts here.
That's actually probably pretty good.
I like that, man. I like that a lot, dude. I mean,
I think he'll score higher than Trey Lance will this year.
Oh yeah. Especially this being his third year, he's going to be more comfortable, more confident. They're going to improve the offensive line a little bit.
They haven't even officially said that Lance is going to start yet. I've seen a lot of conflicting reports.
They may keep Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, they may sign Tom Brady, San Francisco. That's been my favorite rumor. Tom Brady goes back to his hometown with an excellent offensive line, some of the best yak receivers in the league, great run game, a great defense, win now mode.
I'll tell you what, Kittle's stock would go way up.
Kittle's stock, Ayuk. I mean, can you imagine? It's going to explode. They're really just he's going to have to make 8 to 10 good throws a game, and it's like San Francisco's going to the Super Bowl. Back to Jalen Hurts, though, Steve. I don't know if you knew this, but in fantasy points per dropback, Jalen Hurts was number 1 in the NFL last year. Fantasy points per game, number 6. Yet he's dropped to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What, I got him as like the 11th or 12th quarterback off the board.
Yeah, that's value.
That's crazy value, bro. And I see that in the market.
What's the composite ranking for like Devontae Smith?
His ADP?
Yeah.
Let's see, Devontae Smith. Current ADP of 64. So that puts him here in the beginning of the 6th round.
Wow, T. Higgins lasted that long.
6th round, yeah. Here, beginning of the 6th round. Yeah, it's interesting to see wide receivers kind of drop a little bit in these super flex leagues because I think your highest score probabilities are going to be 2 quarterbacks on a weekly basis. It just gives you the safest floor per se. I think I'm going to double down on quarterback. If Trevor Lawrence is still on the board when it gets to me, I'm taking him. How do you feel about that?
I think you could probably still get him a little bit later.
Really? So his current ADP is 76. Now that is in a standard.
We could really use a receiver.
I know I could use a receiver. I just feel like there's going to be so much value at receiver, and it's such a volatile position receivers can go off that you've never heard of in a given week, whereas quarterbacks, Darren Waller went, so you have a few tight ends. So I could pivot and go tight end here. Kittle's still out there, dude. Kittle's out there, man. Kittle or Trevor Lawrence?
I'd say wait around and get Goddard. No.
I did it, man. I had to react. Yeah, I could have waited and got Goddard, got a little bit more
nice
value.
Little sandwich pick with Hurts there, the combo.
That's true, man. You want to stack in these, man, and he's right there. He's probably going to go next round, and one of these guys may take a. I mean, I'm hoping for okay. So best case scenario, right? Best case scenario, shoot for the moon. Brady signs with San Francisco. George Kittle's his tight end. George Kittle's going to the damn moon, man. Ain't gonna be no. I mean, he's like Gronk, but 10 years younger. Not 10 years, but a good 7.
I mean, Kittle's still a decent pick, even if Trey Lance plays just as good as Garoppolo did, which is middle of the pack.
Rookie quarterback's best friend is a tight end, right?
Truth.
Steve, what's up, man? What's up, Steve Elmore in the house? Silver marker. Loaded up on Debo a year ago. Have a Prism Auto out of 49. We're on the clock. Oh man, they took Trevor Lawrence. They took my guy. All right, I think I gotta go take a wide receiver now. Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Elijah Moore. Ooh.
Moore, maybe? Mike Evans.
I went with my guy, man. I'm a Mike Evans super collector. Now, I'm not making a whole lot of maybe I'll go.
Yeah, Mike Evans will have those 2 touchdown weeks, so.
Oh, yeah. I feel like his floor is very safe. I mean, you still can't guard Mike. I mean, he's still going to get deep on top. He's going to win in single man coverage all day long, And can you imagine if we signed Jameis Winston to a 1-year deal? Mike Evans' stock is going to go through the roof, man.
From what I was reading, it said the Arians doesn't want him back.
Oh no, I agree with you. I don't think he wants him back. In fact, you and I were talking about this earlier. I was getting some live reports from the combine. Some guys from Player Profiler that talked to Bruce Arians and Jason Light about Kyle Trask, and he said they're going to give Kyle Trask every opportunity to lose the starting job. Basically, he's going to give every opportunity in OTAs, mini camps, and preseason to win the starting job. So they've apparently got a lot of confidence in this cat, and they actually think that he can slot into a starting role this season. I don't think they want to invest, especially now with Ali Marpet retiring, early retirement, man. Shocking news. 28 years old, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, offensive linemen typically have a long shelf life,
Yeah, they typically do. I mean, look at freaking Andrew Whitworth on the Rams,
he was the oldest player in the NFL. Just won a Super Bowl, too.
Crazy, right? Crazy. So I think that Ali Marpet, obviously, he must have a lot of stuff going on in his personal life outside of NFL. I totally get that. I also think that means that it's pretty definitive that Brady's not coming back. And maybe he felt, hey, I got a Super Bowl ring. I just went out another Pro Bowl. I'm an all-pro tackle. I might as well retire while I got all my brain cells and I'm still young. And maybe he's gonna go out and do something. He's got a ring. I don't know.
Or maybe there's some secret play where I don't know the rules on it, but if you retire, does your salary count against the cap? Like if you were to come back later?
Hey, that's a good question. No, you get into some
That's some-
technicalities I'm not
That's
too
some
sure
4D
about.
chess they might be playing down there.
Very, very interesting, man. Oh, yeah. I see a wide receiver coming up that I really like. Now I'm doing
Devontae?
terrible about stacking here, Steve. So I got to figure out a little stack.
Devontae.
Devontae Smith, he's out there, but
And he's coming up on his ADP, so if he's still there,
okay.
you might want to.
But do you go Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert? I know I've got one tight end, but this is Superflex. This is automatically optimized. Kittle's not injury proof. I could stack Hurts. Would you rather stack him with Goddard or Devontae Smith?
I'd say Smith, just because. Yeah, I don't know. They're not backups per se, but Kittle's pretty solid. Like right now, we don't have a second option at receiver even.
Yeah, good point. I'm going for it. Now I got to start. Let's see what we got left for quarterbacks. Like there's some values out there still. We still got. I'm not even gonna start. I just don't think Mac and Cheese Jones can get me there. We got Daniel Jones out there still. Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield still out there. Malik Willis. I imagine he goes someplace and starts year one.
Gabe, wow, man. I really think that another draft I'm seeing him go that late. I think that's going to be the biggest bargain of the draft.
I mean, that's what a lot of fantasy analysts are talking about right now, whether or not Gabriel Davis is the true story. Like what we saw finishing the playoffs, is that the true story, you know? All right, what do we do here? We got some quarterbacks. Nothing's really too good of value.
Receiver? Maybe grab another
yeah,
receiver.
dude, I'm going for this pick because I think he's going to make a huge leap this year in 2022, similar to that of Cooper Kupp. Hunter Renfrow in Vegas. I think Vegas is going to be contenders. They bring in Josh McDaniels. I think Derek Carr stays. They already talking more and more about they're committed to Derek Carr for 2022. Plus, McDaniels came out to say today, Hunter Renfro's role is going to be expanded. We're going to be expecting more of him. I mean, dude, he just fits like a perfect Cooper Kupp, Julian Edelman type of role. It's just, I'm excited for Hunter Renfrow in 2022. I'm not going to lie, man.
Yeah, his card values have been maintaining or even climbing, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to go down, especially once that news that I read today kind of circulates more and more. I think his stock is going to continue to rise up. And so this is what I'm talking about, guys. So right now, Hunter Renfrow is going in the 7th round. But after people talk about him as a focal point for long enough, he's going to start going in the 6th round, in the 5th round, in the 4th round. And all that means is that his stock is rising. His stock is rising in fantasy. His stock is rising. His card values on his stuff of comparable print runs. So that's the big difference, right? Between fantasy and football cards, you have different variations of a player you get to choose from in cards. So you've got to find those market inefficiencies, use that critical thinking skills you have, and compare similar print runs to guys in those classes. Like Hunter Renfro's a 2018 rookie, Steve?
2019.
2019. So he's pretty young.
Yeah. 2019.
He's pretty young. So you can't compare him to Cooper Kupp cards. You just can't do it unless you pick something that's got a comparable print run. If Hunter Renfro's a 2019, I mean, Cooper Kupp's base prism comes silver. I'd say if you were going to comp him to look at a potential ceiling for Hunter Renfrow, maybe you I mean, that's why I like looking at a rookie ticket auto. I feel like that's going to be pretty comparable in terms of scarcity between the 2 years. Also, 2019's optic hollows are pretty rare. The prism silvers are really rare, but you can't compare his prism silver from 2019 to the base prism, which is silver by standard in 2017, because now the 2019 product is more rare. It's somewhere in between there. So you got to find something that's like a sweet spot. Maybe look at the optic. Maybe the 2019 optic, because that has a much shorter print run than the 2019 prism. I've seen that through a variety of players and different platforms.
What are our options looking like here?
Well, we're in the 8th round. Quarterback wise, Baker Mayfield, Kenny Pickett, 8.5-inch hands. Oh, my boy Davis Mills is still out there. Matt Corral, Taysom Hill. In terms of running back, we do have A.J. Dillon out there. I like James Conner's out there. I think he's back in Arizona. We got 10 seconds.
What's the ADP of the general? I would say maybe take him.
Brandon Ayuk's out there. The general, I like the general. It's 167. I think we can wait on him. I don't know. I think we're gonna get autoed. Who we getting autoed? Hey, dude, there we go, man. We gotta sell out. Maybe that's a sign because I've been speculating lately, and you and I have been talking. We've been talking about Baker Mayfield and how he's undervalued and how he's due for a bounce back year, man. I think Baker Mayfield's due for some major.
He should be fully healed by the time the season starts.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't remember that he played through like a torn labrum. That's like pretty serious.
In his throwing shoulder, Steve. So it wasn't like, and it was early in the season. It wasn't like non-throwing
week
shoulder.
3 or week 4 or something like that.
And he played through that, man. He played through that. Obviously some games it held him out, and some games he absolutely played terrible. But he played through that thing, and I think that was a big factor. And it happened in week 6. And so he's actually it was so bad that he had to get surgery after the season. So he'll be 100%. A little cleanup. He'll be 100% in 2022. I think he has a big bounce back year. I think we go running back here, Steve, and I think we go A.J. Dillon.
That seems like a good value.
The card pick, right?
At this part of the draft, yeah.
Good value at this part of the draft. If I look at his ADP of 92, yeah, we got him at value by 8 picks.
For the way back, what do we got for a receiver?
Yeah, we still have some really nice sleepers out there that I'm a big fan of. Robert Woods making a comeback in 2022. That odd ACL tear that he had in practice. Garrett Wilson's a rookie from Ohio. Actually, he's from Ohio State with Chris Olave. So it'd be interesting to see Garrett Wilson. He's this beast, though. I wonder how his stock. Oh, he's gone. Long bomb. MC Fly got him. Chase Claypool's gone. Oh, A-Rob's out there. Rashad Bateman, rookie.
Who's the guy that everyone keeps talking about that Pittsburgh's going to draft, the receiver? Is that Garrett Wilson?
Well, Pittsburgh is at. Are you talking about in the first round? Because Pittsburgh gets the number 11 overall pick. Pretty sure.
I don't know. I read an article. They were talking about a really athletic receiver, and they said that him and Najee would just be like an insane tandem.
And then bring in a veteran quarterback?
Mm-hmm. I did see a couple more articles today talking about Trubisky maybe going to Pittsburgh, which is kind of what I've been saying from the beginning. So
now you're talking. Oh, yeah, Pittsburgh, number 20th overall pick.
Juju.
Juju, 109. Chris, there's Chris Olave with that 4.28 at number 110. Guys, if you're just joining in, we're doing a best ball draft on underdogfantasy.com. The best place to do best ball drafts. It's a lot of fun, guys. Promo code QUEST if you're a new user gets you 100% instant deposit bonus. And I am going to pick this round, Steve. What are you guys thinking? Thinking I got to get some more running backs and wide receivers is really hammer it down, right?
Absolutely.
And then maybe a sleeper tight end on the back end. Got my Dylan's deals. got my football card collector and investor pick right there in the 9th round. Steal of the draft, A.J. Dillon.
I'm just trying to go off the top of my head because I don't have the roster in front of me. But
I could here. So here's some guys I've queued up: Mills, Sutton, Beckham, Boyd, Rondale Moore is definitely concerning there. Oh man,
did Amari Cooper go already? I didn't see.
Oh man, yeah, he did. He had to have gone. Yeah, Amari Cooper. All right, we're still.
What's on the? I like Christian Kirk there. What's on the running backs? Ooh, Rashad Penny.
Yeah, he could be a big time value breakout this year. Isaiah Spillers though is a rookie who looks pretty shifty. I like Cordell Patterson, Ramondre Stevenson. And it's like now I get to these guys and I'm like, I don't know, man. Okay, Alexander Madison.
Yeah, in the next couple of rounds there it might be like dart throws,
Oh, see, this is I guess the beautiful thing about queuing guys up. I got the general. I got the general in the 11th
Damn,
round.
that sucks that Penny went right before you too.
Oh man, and then Pollard. So all right, so I don't need any more quarterbacks. That's for sure. Between the general and Baker and Jalen Hurts, I'm set, man. It's time to stack up some more wide receivers. I'm gonna go ahead and flag Nico Collins.
Where's Marquez Callaway on there?
Oh, he's probably going undrafted. His ADP is 193, so he's
really?
like, I mean, he's back here. You're like a Marquez Callaway truther, man. I don't know if I'm as high on Marquez Callaway as you are.
I think that he's just a confident quarterback away from being relevant, honestly.
Yeah, but that's a big if. That's a big if for the Saints
though?
this year.
I don't know, man. I don't think it is. I mean, there's a lot of good quarterback free agents right now. I mean, he could get I don't know, he could get just about anyone and be better than what they had last year.
Would you rather Christian Kirk or Odell Beckham Jr.?
Is Odell going to be healthy? I don't know. I mean, Odell's the better pick, but Kirk is going to probably be on a new team.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm torn between now. What would you guys do in the chat between who would you rather? All right, I ask you, who would you rather invest in? Bring this back to football cards. Draft and invest. Odell Beckham Jr. or Christian Kirk at this point. Obviously, we know Odell Beckham's got more hype. He's got the fame out for the football field. But from a purely like athletic standpoint, NFL production standpoint, in a vacuum, who would it be? Tough question. Maybe not so tough. Obviously, Odell's electric, and he's got.
I think when you look at, by the time the season started, and you look at where you drafted him, that's a big value. Like, look at the guys that are being drafted immediately after him. There's a steep fall off.
Yeah, Justin's got a great question. How in the world do you draft rookies when you don't even know what situation? That's the beauty of it, man. You draft them based on their athletic profile. You base them on their college resume, their talent that they've displayed in college, man. Because those guys that are alpha dominant in college will translate over in the NFL. They're gonna break out. They're gonna break out maybe not their rookie year, maybe the sophomore year, maybe the junior year. Some of the wide receivers, tight ends. I think Steve, you would agree. It takes them a little longer sometimes to develop those savvy route running abilities, the chemistry with the quarterback to know when to break and when to run into certain sectors of the field, do certain things. Whereas with a running back, year one, they can come out and ball higher likelihood because of the fact it's like, here, take this ball, go downfield, get a touchdown.
You see that opening, run through it,
you see that opening, run through it. They have the vision, they've gotten the carries in college, high school. So it's not nearly as finesse. Now they have that. That's why I'm so high on guys like Antonio Gibson, who was a wide receiver in college, very little carries. So he's got a lot more wide receiver knowledge, and ideally they could use him. I mean, that's why I think Washington Commanders, Capitans, whatever they're called these days, the Bald Eagles, they've got the most interesting offense this season if they just get a good solid quarterback piece there.
All right. Well, we're definitely good on QB. What's the next best couple running backs in there?
Yeah. Let me go back. Let me go back to this and next. We got Alexander Madison still out there. You know, some people I see are still kind of high on James Robinson, higher than Travis Etienne. That is I don't think that should be the case at all.
Do you think Darrell Henderson is sunk with Cam Akers being back?
I do. Especially with Shoney Michel as well. I think Darrell Henderson's going to have a little slice, but I'd rather have a guy like Khalil Herbert. I don't know. I mean, you're a Chicago fan. You saw what Khalil Herbert did with his opportunities. That guy, yards created, evaded tackles, juke rate. He was off the chain, bro.
Yeah, we're up. We're up, by the way.
Oh, okay. We're up. 12 seconds. All right. So, Kenny Gainwell, or I'm gonna go. Kenny Gainwell. I'm gonna go with the stack here because he's on Philly. But hopefully Khalil Herbert will come back to me. I do want DJ Chark too. I could have.
Herbert really played good in his starting. Ooh, look at Van Jefferson still. And
yeah,
LaVisca.
That's really sweet.
And LaVisca.
Ooh. I mean, that is, man. I want to give me some more LaVisca. I mean, because this could be a huge year for him. Because I also heard live reports talking to what's his name, David Balky, the GM for the Jags. From my guys from Player Profiler, we're talking to David Balky about LaVisca Chenault at the combine, and if he's like, if that ship has sailed for him, and they were like, absolutely not. Like, they basically haven't even begun to yet realize what LaVisca Chenault's true potential in a well-run offense could be. So I'm looking for a big year. I mean, there's people that saw how incredibly dominant and explosive he was in college, Colorado State. So I think he can get back to that. I know my guy Brandon 402 Collectibles has seen him in person. He's like, the guy's a beast. So we got, okay, there's a prime example. I think in this case, do we go Nico Collins and stack with the general, or do we go Chark? I mean, Chark is just so incredibly gifted.
Yeah, I would say go with him.
I kind of wanted to go, let me go back to the board, see what we're at.
What do we got?
Let's look at the board.
3 running backs. Oh, we have Gainwell as well.
Yeah, I got Gainwell. Kind of went with the Philadelphia stack. I know it's not ideal. Like, I'm not going to get Hurts and Gainwell blow up in the same week. Not as likely of a path as, say, Hurts and Devontae Smith, right? Because if Hurts is handing it off to Gainwell and Gainwell's getting a touchdown, then Hurts is getting points. Devontae Smith's not getting points. But, there's plenty of wealth to go around, screen passes. Gainwell's really explosive. I mean, you can't have a last name of Gainwell without being explosive in the NFL,
right? Are they still running 3 running backs, or did somebody not get re-signed?
Between Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, and Gainwell?
I feel like it would make sense for them to trade one of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Miles Sanders is on year 3 of his contract, so he might be up, Yeah, Miles Sanders on there, Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, that's right. The Jordan Howard still there, Boston Scott. It's a pretty deep running back room.
Before
Jason
Jordan
Huntley.
Howard got hurt, man, he was kicking some ass.
That dude is a powerful downhill runner. Jordan Howard.
I was actually
straight line.
upset when the Bears got rid of him. All right, there goes.
So, okay, none of those running backs are free agents. So, yeah, it's going to be running back by committee, hot hand. I probably Khalil Herbert's got a easier path to success and relevance in 2022 than Gainwell at this point. But I do think that they're going to go with a hot hand in Philly, and he'll get more looks. But there'll be some games where he's totally ghosted, and you just don't know why. Like it happened last year.
Yeah, he got scratched a few games.
He got scratched, and he didn't even play that or nothing. It was just like, we got 4 different running backs, and these guys got the hot hand. And it was like Boston Scott was tearing it up, the Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, so it's like tough to invest in those guys on that team, which I'd rather buy Gainwell's rookie cards this offseason. Like, you could probably get some this upcoming summer after Prism Select comes out. You can have your pick of the litter, like get some really nice Gainwell cards. And just, at some point, he's probably due for a breakout in the upcoming years. And his name is just so cool for a running back. I kind of like, I want to get him into cards. It's kind of like A.J. Dillon, man. Start talking about you should get into cards, man. Start promoting your own rookie cards and stuff.
He should be an investor too, because Gainwell, right?
Yeah, man.
Those gains.
You got to get those gains, man.
Trubisky.
We'll teach him how to gain well on the quest. Oh, Justin's been trying to snipe some Gainwell lately. What's good, Tom Ballard in the house? Evening.
I think
to
one of
you,
those guys
sir.
has to get cut or traded. Like there's no reason to have like 4 running backs when you just drafted one the previous season.
Oops. The board. Yeah, that's my take too. Use one, like use Miles Sanders. You could probably get a pretty penny for him. I think I'm looking at a lot of running backs here. I think I'm going to go with Nico Collins. I'm going with Nico Collins, and I'll tell you why, Steve. We drafted the general, right? You and I actually talked about Nico recently in the Discord server over on patreon.com/footballcards. If you guys want to get in there, we were talking about some Nico Collins and why we like him so much. Well, he drives a lot of FOMO being a 2021 rookie. Davis Mills has incredible deep ball throwing mechanics and intermediate. They're kind of projected to build around him as well. I don't know what the situation is currently like around Brandon Cooks, but Nico Collins came on really strong in the back half of the year last year, built a really solid chemistry with Davis Mills.
I think I saw on when you had the player list up, it said, I know you're not high on on what's his name from the Saints, but I think it said his projection was like 70 or something like that.
Let me go back on my screen.
Callaway.
Let's see. Oh, he's still out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's still out there. Yeah, Marquez Callaway, ADP of 193. We're paying up for him. No, dude. Khalil Herbert's still out there. I'm going Herbert. He's got an ADP of 172, so we're getting him right on the nose.
Nice.
You know who else is still out there that I do like is KJ Osborne and Kendrick Bourne on the Patriots. He had a couple big breakout games. Like Dang, I'm gonna star him. Kendrick Bourne. So talking about wide receivers deep real quick. I was gonna show the stats on Nico Collins. So check out those measurables. That insane catch radius, 94th percentile. Also really good breakout age, college yards per reception. So you can see he's a deep ball guy. And Davis Mills throws an excellent deep ball, 6'4", 215, ran a 4.5. Love it. Third round pick, 2021. So really solid. Didn't get a ton of opportunity. So none of his numbers, like across production and efficiency and all that, are really good. But he didn't get a ton of production. That a lot of that production still ran through Brandon Cooks, and we know Davis Mills didn't play the whole year either. So I really like what we did see from him, and I think he's got like breakout potential all over it for 2022 with Davis Mills. Couple games.
Yeah, a lot of especially in the hobby, a lot of the guys that don't break out right away like get forgotten, and that's a great opportunity to get them on the cheap,
Okay, so Jahan Dotson's still out there. Callaway's still out there, but you got Jahan Dotson, who's a rookie. This dude, electric from Penn State, and he is projected to go to the Texans. Actually, I saw that they're actually projecting him to draft him early in the second round. They get like the number 35 overall pick, like the number 3 and 35 overall pick. So Jahan Dotson, who I watched his college film. I was looking at his stats. I mean, just really explosive, really good target separation. I mean, this guy looks super talented. Looks like he would be like kind of like a slot guy, 5'11", 178 pounds, 40-yard dash, ran a 4.43. So, but if you look at his college metrics, college target share at Penn State, 95th percentile, 32.5%. So he's a ball hog. College dominator, 44.3%, 90th percentile. Just a freaking stud at Penn State, man. In his senior year, 91 receptions for almost 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Just going off,
I think that look at the Keyshawn Vaughn at 182. That's a nice grab there.
Oh, yeah. Nyheim Hines is still out there. That's a really interesting pick. Justin Jackson's out there. Sony Michel. Jamal Williams.
What about Palmer?
Oh, Josh Palmer. Yeah. Is he out? So MVS is out there. Oh, Donovan Peoples-Jones is out there. Tim Patrick. Byron Pringle. Heard he got a chip deal with Pringles. MVS is out there. Alan Lazard, Terrace Marshall, Brian Edwards is out there. KJ Hamler's out there. Zay Jones is still out there. Jalen Guyton, AJ Green, Tyler Johnson, Jamal Agnew.
Might be able to get Palmer and then get Edwards like in the next round or two.
Palmer has already been selected. 141.
We got him.
I had him start up. I hope you're right, man. Now I hope you're right, because I didn't take him in the 16th round. I hope you're right about Callaway. Let's get New Orleans. You can't have Ian Book throwing him the ball, can you? Can Ian Book throw him the ball?
I mean, he could throw him the ball. It might not be the most optimal throw, but I mean, the man had a respectable season for a run-first quarterback throwing him the ball. So
look where Gronk went, man. That's crazy.
Did you see he's been linked to Buffalo now? I mean, they're going to probably link him to every team, but today they were talking about Buffalo.
Wow. I mean, wherever he goes, stock's going to go up. The thing is, this is the kind of guy, because of his Hall of Fame marker status and his fame off the field, those keep his rookie cards elevated to a point where it's not necessarily reflective of his ADP. However, I would also argue that his ADP is this low right now because we're not projected to get Tom Brady in 2022 in Tampa, and currently Gronk is still on the Tampa Bay roster. So if Gronk changes teams, Cincinnati he's been linked to, like you said. Now Buffalo, if he goes to one of those teams, Steve, all of a sudden Gronk's ADP is going to go up to at least where Dawson Knox is in the 8th round, or where'd CJ Uzoma go? He probably went somewhere
like a
up
round,
here, I imagine.
3 rounds ago, 156. Well, I hope you got somebody queued up. You got 3 seconds.
Yeah, I do have somebody queued up. I'm not opposed to this guy either because he's the Colts are committed to this guy. They've shown sincere
I actually
commitment.
like that pick too because I was actually high on him last season, and probably a lot of people aren't aware that they just signed him to like a 4 or 5 year contract. So they
They
obviously
love
believe-
Nyheim Hines.
They obviously
And the guy's a
believe in him.
track star, and he's shown he can catch the ball good. He can run the ball. I mean, he's shown to be actually very explosive. So, and he runs like a sub 4.4 too. So, they love Nyheim Hines, and with running back volatility, I don't think Jonathan Taylor, even with Jonathan Taylor having 1,000-yard plus season, I think Nyheim Hines still going to have a nice little couple games here and there.
Well, just think about if they get an improved passing game, which you would think that they would.
Hey, now, get rid of Carson Wentz. I think that's highly likely. Highly likely. The Colts, I mean, think about it, dude. Oh, dude, do you know how sour the Colts coaching and general management is after losing to Jacksonville in Week 18? That cost them the playoffs, Steve. That cost them the playoffs in a game that meant nothing for Jacksonville, everything for the Colts. Carson Wentz could not get his together to lead those Colts to win that game.
Pretty brutal, man.
Yeah,
There's just too much talent on that team to choke like that.
Too much talent, man. Michael Pittman's so good, so dominant at the point of catch. He became an alpha last year. Jonathan Taylor, #1 running back in the NFL. You got a defense that was pretty solid. Now, defense did at times struggle to stop the run. Like you saw that with when we went to Indianapolis and when Tampa went to Indianapolis, and Leonard Fournette just ran all over them. Like they couldn't stop us. We just like kept giving the ball to Lenny, and he was just running over them. So that was an issue.
What do you think about? Do you think Tampa's going to draft a running back or bring in a veteran?
I think they bring in a cheap veteran. I think they bring in. This is interesting. They could bring in. I really like them bringing in like a Marlon Mack kind of guy. Marlon Mack is a USF alumni. That's right here in Tampa. He went to college here in Tampa. Marlon Mack has got a versatile, all-purpose skill set. He's shown you can give him carries, you can give him receiving work, modern sports medicine. I mean, I guarantee you Marlon Mack came back just as well from his torn Achilles that Cam Akers did from his. I know the Rams doing some fancy stuff out there in LA, and they got some high-tech sports medicine and technology, but I just think anyway that Marlon Mack doesn't bounce back as well as Cam Akers did from the torn Achilles. And Marlon Mack, he's still only like 28, so he's not too crazy, like old. I think you bring in a guy like that. Maybe they bring in a Cordell Patterson. I don't know how much Cordell Patterson is going to cost on the open market this offseason. I don't think they spend too much. I think we're going to, it's going to be something real generous because I think they got a lot of confidence in Keyshawn Vaughn, man. I think Keyshawn Vaughn's going to get at least 40 or 50% opportunity share in 2022. And I think his ADP as a result is going to go through the roof.
Yeah, the reason I made that Patterson prediction a few weeks ago, though, is because he actually fills 2 voids on that team, receiver and running back, which they're both going to need.
All right. I'm looking at running backs. Darrell Williams, D'Ernest Johnson's still out there. Sony Michel. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I think we got him anyways. I was gonna pick Brian Edwards, and I think we got him. We've been getting him late. Been getting your guy, man. Got a couple of guys, but I figured that's a good kind of handcuff with Hunter Renfrow. I know they kind of conquer different sectors of the field there. Brian Edwards more of a deep threat, but Brian Edwards was also a possession style receiver in college. So I did a pretty deep dive on him last year, looking for a breakout. And he's super talented, man. Get him in the 18th round. I feel really good about that. I do feel good about that.
I thought he looked really good the last couple games, and maybe with a new offensive mind coming in, if they make Renfrow better, I think that makes everyone else better too, because if they have to hone in on someone like they would with Kupp, then that makes everyone around him better too.
I'm starring a couple more quarterbacks here. Late. Couple guys.
Is this the last two picks?
Yeah, these are the last two picks.
So I would say maybe get another tight end then, yeah, because you got we just got the one right now.
Adam Troutman's out there. Jared Cook's out there.
Somebody yanked Dan Arnold. Bastards.
Dan Arnold. Ricky Seals-Jones out there. I'm trying to look for they got Dan Arnold. Njoku, that was a good pick. Yeah, there you go. Dan Arnold, 16th. I missed it. Yeah, man, the tight end selection is getting very. Ooh, there's a guy I like though. Free agent this year. Free agent tight end that I think could go boom somewhere. I think I might go with him. I could probably even get him in the final round. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna look at who else we got for running backs.
Yeah, at this point, you can get probably a better value out of a running back than like a dart throw tight end.
D'Ernest Johnson is somebody really interesting to me after how explosive he looked. There's Marlon Mack, actually. You know what? We're just talking about it, man. Let's go ahead and draft him into existence. Pow!
Now he just needs a starting job somewhere.
He just needs a team, man. He's shown he can be very efficient and productive in the NFL. I actually invested quite a bit in Marlon Mack. I actually have, dude, I was getting them so cheap. I bought a lot of Marlon Mack rookie ticket autos, and I almost was suspect of them because I got these for like $5 a piece or maybe less. But they're just base rookie ticket autos. And I bought like a lot of like 5 or 7 of them. But I mean, he had in 2019, he had almost 1,100 yards before he got injured in 2020. So in the beginning of the season. So it was like after that year of injury, then they drafted that was when they drafted Jonathan Taylor. So I mean, it was like Jonathan Taylor didn't even really have to earn the job. Marlon Mack just kind of gave it to him with the injury. But I mean, Marlon Mack was dominant in 2019 when he played that full season. He was number 9 in overall carries. He was number 3 in breakaway runs in the league, dude. Number 3 in the league and runs over 15 yards.
I mean, Tampa would be a good landing spot. I mean, even being without Ali Marpet, I mean, they're still one of the best lines in the game.
Yeah. Donovan Smith, Tristan Wirfs. I think they've got to probably restructure Ryan Jensen's contract or sign him the extension or something. Try and keep that intact. Last round. Got to make a splash in the last round. I think I'm gonna go back quarterback here and make a splash.
You gonna ride the one tight end train?
Oh, do I only have one?
Yeah.
All I have is Kittle. I thought I got. Oh no, you're right. I'm gonna draft one. I'm gonna do it right here. I gotta go tight end. And I got my guy. I got my guy start up. OJ Howard.
Nice. I think that's that's who we took 2 weeks ago with the last pick. I think. Too.
Is that who we took? So we're gonna have a bunch of exposure, like in the last round, to OJ Howard. I mean, dude, the guy. People were actually spending some money on his rookie cards before that 2020 season, even when we pulled in Gronk, because OJ Howard's like incredible profile. You know, first round draft pick from 2017. So he's also his rookie year is that 2017 product. You know, went to Alabama. He's only 27 now. I mean, he had over 500 yards in 2018, 2019, almost 500 yards with Jameis Winston. So you look at what he could do. Now, his problem is, right, he's got to stay healthy. He missed 6 games in 2018. He missed 2 games in 2019. He missed 14 games in 2020 with the Achilles tendon. So in 2021, he didn't miss any games, but he didn't get the opportunity share that he did in years past. So that all kind of went to Gronk. However, he's a free agent, so I think somebody's gonna want to. I think we kind of we're good. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know. We might be able to get him at a value because he didn't have any production last year, and the year before that he missed pretty much the whole season with the Achilles. So maybe we do re-sign him. Even if we do, I still like him because I don't think Gronk's gonna stay with us. And he's so athletic, so big, so powerful. I think that makes him, like, I'm sure his rookie cards are dirt cheap, and it's not a bad idea to throw some flyers on him just with the draft pedigree and the athletic ability. It's off the charts, you know.
He did. I don't know the exact stats. He did have a pretty good fantasy season in there somewhere with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, in 2019, he was in 2018 fantasy points per game. He was number 5 tight end. Oh no! I'm gonna miss him too. I missed him. I got auto picked on my last pick, jabbing away. I got. Although Jamal Agnew is really explosive as well. I think Jamal Agnew had a couple kickoff returns. I also know he had that one field goal. He returned that one field goal to the house for a touchdown, and I saw him to return a kickoff for a touchdown. So he's like a little Swiss Army knife, super explosive, fast guy. I really meant to pick OJ Howard there. That's on me. I had him starred, but he wasn't at the top of my list, Steve. Damn it.
Let's see who's
yeah, in 2018, OJ Howard was number 5 in fantasy points per game, number 7 total touchdowns. So pretty solid there. His efficiency was also yards per reception. 16 was number 1 in the league. Yards per target, number 1 in the league. So yeah, he was contested catch rate, number 4 in the league at 66.7%. So pretty solid advanced stats for him there in 2018 and 2019. So, but 2018 was his best year. And then 2019 was another solid year. So yeah, man, that's good. It's a good draft, man. What was your major takeaway in the draft? Like, was there anybody that jumped out to you that was a big ADP riser? Like, did anybody on this draft board look a lot higher than last time in terms of moving up?
Well, obviously the QBs because it's a super flex, right?
Yeah. It's more indicative of kind of, you know, football card investing now. Quarterbacks drive the market, you know.
I think in our last draft, Diggs actually went in like the 3rd or 4th round.
Stephon Diggs went in the 3rd or 4th round. Get out of here.
And Mixon went in the 2nd round in our last draft, I think, too.
He did. Yeah, he did. You can kind of see running backs got devalued a little bit besides like the super premium ones.
I think Antonio Gibson at 41 is really nice.
That's a steal, dude.
T.
Especially
Higgins at 37 is. I think T.
It's
Higgins
criminal.
will probably outscore CeeDee Lamb next year, so I think that's big.
I think he outscores DK Metcalf too. Well, especially if DK doesn't have Russell Wilson. That's the other big giant question mark this offseason.
I mean,
Russell Wilson.
Waddle could be even better in his second year than his rookie year, so that's pretty interesting. I'll be honest, like I'm not big on Barkley. I would have taken Gibson there over him.
I would have taken Antonio Gibson over Barkley. I would have taken him over Chubb. I would have taken him over Kamara. I would have taken him over
even
DeAndre
Montgomery,
Swift.
who went at 50. I would have taken over him.
Yeah, I think Travis Etienne fell still too low. Michael Carter down here fell too low, in my opinion. I would have taken Michael Carter over Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs. I would have taken Michael Carter up here with Akers and Montgomery type of range. Look how far Ezekiel Elliott once a golden goose, man. Up here with the big dogs in the first round, man. Not so much anymore.
I honestly think he will bounce back this year, though.
Think he'll have a much better year. Apparently, there was some kind of injury he played through a lot last year. That's like, well, man, yeah, you're getting older.
A couple guys I think that will outperform their ADP that I'm seeing. Devin Singletary being one.
Really?
And Rashad Penny. I think Rashad Penny and Gabe Davis might be the steals of the draft overall.
Rashad Penny, yeah, if he stays on the field, stays healthy, this cat looks super explosive. You're right. I know you're big on that. A little bit of recency bias in this, right? I mean, he looks super explosive at the end of the season, coming down the stretch. And he is young. He just hasn't been able to really stay on the field, but he did stay on the field this past season, and it was pretty impressive coming down the stretch, even on the team, the Seattle Seahawks, with like one of the bottom of the barrel offensive lines.
Now, isn't he a free agent as well?
He is.
Could you imagine Tampa Bay snatching him up?
All right, man. All right. Well, it's not going to be so great for Keyshawn Vaughn. Maybe they still go with a 50-50 split. And look, Rashad Penny's not the most durable, so we've seen the injury history with him. So yeah, I mean, that's not a bad. Actually, I like that. I mean, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to deploy like a 50 passing attempt, playbook for Trask in his first season.
No, Bruce Arians, they're going to be running the ball a lot more. I think that's kind of clear. Whether it's Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask, or even like, I don't think Winston's coming back, but he'd be the only one where it's like Arian tells him to hand it off and he throws it a 40-yard bomb to Mike Evans in double
Play
coverage.
action, bro. Just kidding. Yeah, I think Winston probably goes back to New Orleans, although part of me hopes not, because I think they can get someone better. But Winston should go somewhere and start. I do agree.
Hey, what's good? Corey in the house, Late Stick in the house, Brett Simmons. Where did Gabe Davis go? Tom Bullard wants to know where Gabe Davis. He went like pretty late. We talked about him having too low of a 7th round at 73. So Gabe Davis going 73. I mean, he probably went wide receiver number 20 or something, which he went in the Michael Pittman, Michael Thomas, Hunter Renfrow range. I got Renfrow after that, but guys took Tyler Lockett, Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devon. I mean, he went in a very fair range. I mean, obviously, we saw the potential at the end of the playoffs there. I mean, what his ceiling is like. His ceiling is nuclear with Stephon Diggs.
You could make the argument that, somebody may have reached for Calvin Ridley when we only assume he's going to play this year. That's one of those things, too, where it's like, if he plays, that's a great draft position for him. But, it's an if.
All right, guys. So we have gone an hour and a half, and this has been a blast, though, Steve. did you want to go ahead and share your auction that you have picked out for the folks, or do you want me to share mine?
Yeah, if you got one, I didn't. You didn't prompt me to have one ready, so I didn't have one ready for you. So if you happen to have one, otherwise I do have a list.
Yeah, so this is a wide receiver that was that went number 49 overall, so right at the beginning of the 5th round. And he's also a guy that's got potential first, second round fantasy wide receiver. And let me go ahead and pull him up. Of course, I'll let you guys take a guess on which set it is.
Boom.
But it's just a really juicy auction. This one actually doesn't end till, I thought it ended tomorrow, but it actually ends Saturday night. But I'm not sure what this will go up to, but I know that these are, I've comped them. I've comped them anywhere from $40, which I think is a good deal, to up to $150, $200 at his peak market. So just think, if Washington gets a big quarterback upgrade, the value for Terry McLaurin is going to shoot up like instantaneously, because he's a clear alpha wide receiver on that team. He's shown how freaking good he is. Corey's got a few of those. He knows what's good. So
yeah, the only thing really holding him back is the quarterback.
This is my auction that I want to share with you guys tonight. Obviously, I think right now we're in a very small window that is leaving us like I think we're in a small window, because once this free agency period opens March 16th, 2 weeks away, we're going to start seeing a lot of things heating up. And then you got the draft. It's just a big hype cycle that we're going into. So I think, things are going to start continue to build. I know you talk about that it really hasn't slowed down as much as maybe some people think. I think it all depends on what cards you're looking at too, by the way. And so there's already 4 bids on this card. What do you think this goes up to, Steve?
I think I've seen most of them going for $40-$45 lately, give or take. For the base contenders. So like 45 to 50, maybe somewhere in there. And it's ending at a good time on Saturday night, so that gives it a better chance of hitting that number.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. So there you have it, guys. All right, man. We've got, you know what? We're going to save the mail for next time. Maybe Steve and I get on do a video where we just open some mail and commentate on that. But I got a mail day coming up myself. Got some more mail to open. It's been fun, Steve.
Yeah, man. Excellent draft, and hopefully we'll do another one next week, because those are great, man. And we'll learn from each one, and hopefully you guys learn from each one as well.
Oh, dude, I learn a ton from it every time, and I'm getting more and more efficient. It's good stuff, man. Had a blast, brother. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next videos. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to right now, do it right now. Go.